For the first time ever, Australia has provided service to a United States nuclear submarine. The USS Hawaii, a Virginia-class nuclear sub, and the USS Emery S. Land, a supply ship that supports Hawaii, were docked last week in Western Australia at HMAS Stirling. HMAS Stirling is the Royal Australian Navy base on our country's west coast on Garden Island off Perth. As Liberal federal MP from WA, Andrew Hastie, put it, young Australians were now working alongside their allies, welcomed and integrated into the company of both US Navy ships, bringing the AUKUS alliance to life. Just a quick recap. In March last year, the US, UK and Australia announced as part of AUKUS a thing called the Submarine Rotational Forces West Initiative. Under this plan, the US and the UK are going to keep a permanent rotational presence of nuclear-powered subs at Stirling. They'll visit more often and stay for longer. Australia's own nuclear-powered subs will eventually be based at Stirling from the early 2030s. In this current visit, 30 Australian sailors are learning how to repair a Virginia-class submarine. In late July, Stirling was visited by the US Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Lisa Franchetti, and the UK's First Sea Lord and Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Ben Key. Australia's Chief of Navy, Vice Admiral Mark Hammond, spoke then about the importance of AUKUS, as Naval News reported.
It's a real privilege and an honour to be here with two of my best friends in the international Navy community and colleagues. For over 100 years, our three navies have been cooperating and integrating in various ways around the globe in peacetime and in conflict. In the last 12 months, we've seen Australian sailors and officers undergo training in both the Royal Navy and the United States Navy nuclear power submarine programs, and we've seen some outstanding results achieved. As of now, we have Australian submariners serving in half a dozen US Navy and Royal Navy fast attack submarines, continuing their training.
Andrew Hastie says a lot of people are shifting their lives to WA too. Recruiters are chasing the tradies who will harden industry, and small businesses are opening to build supply chains. US Admiral Lisa Franchetti says AUKUS is key to our ongoing security and prosperity.
Thank you again, Mark. It is great to be here with you and my other mate, Ben. It's really an honor to be here back in Australia. You know, our national defense strategy talks a lot about the importance of our allies and partners. And when we look around the world, it is a very challenging geopolitical environment with a rules-based international order that has supported our prosperity and security all around the globe for the last 3/4 of a century. We know that that is under threat. As you said, we stood shoulder to shoulder. I like to say in the navies, we have been steaming in formation for well over 100 years. And AUKUS is a great opportunity for us to build on that collective capability, the strength of our navies, the strength of our industrial bases, and the strength of the innovative spirit of all three of our nations. And I know from what I've seen here today that we are eyes wide open about both the challenges and the opportunities that we face, and that we have the right people in place to deliver AUKUS, both today as we get to all of our intermediate milestones and way into the future.
That's US Admiral Lisa Franchetti on the YouTube channel Naval News. The UK's Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Ben Key, also spoke of his nation's commitment to AUKUS, even after the change of government in the UK to Labour.
But as the new government and the new Secretary of State in the United Kingdom recently reaffirmed, we are 100% committed to the AUKUS programme and what it means, not just for the United Kingdom, but for the three nations represented here, for all the reasons that Admiral Mark and Admiral Lisa have laid out. And I too share that sense of excitement that the momentum that we see growing here, which is being matched by so many other initiatives across our three nations at the moment, will in due course realise something that is genuinely transformational. The next part of a shared journey of operating nuclear submarines into the future to underpin everything that we have as values around a free and open oceans, democratic, rules-based international system, which matters to all of our nations.
UK's Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Ben Key. Did you know that for roughly every 2 nurses in Australia working hard to save lives and take care of the sick on the front line, there's 1 taxpayer-funded bureaucrat sitting behind a desk doing admin and making and enforcing rules and regulations? That's right, nearly 1 bureaucrat for every 2 frontline nurses. In most countries, it's 1 bureaucrat for 10 frontline nurses. That's how bloated our public service has become. But you'll never hear about it from the regular nurses' unions because they also represent many of those public servants. So says the leading alternative nurses union in Australia, the NPAA. If you're a nurse, it's time to change to a union that will not only look after you without using your money to support the Labor Party, but which is taking on the government health systems to sidestep the bureaucrats and use the savings to pay all nurses 25% more. That's what they want to do. The current waste has got to stop. All the red tape doesn't just suck up resources and time, it actually means that the nurses left on the front line have got to jump through more hoops and it stops them from being able to do their jobs properly. Admin is a hindrance. So join the union that will actually stand up against bloated government. Join the NPAA, the Nurses Professional Association, will make hospitals locally autonomous and run by elected boards. To find out more, just Google NPAA. The NPAA's fees are half the price because none of your money goes to any political party. And as an Other Side viewer, if you use our special code OTHERSIDE1 when you sign up, you will get the first 3 months free or $100 off your annual payment. Go to npaaredunion.com and sign up now for a better union and support the other side too by supporting our sponsors. Thank you, nurses, you legends. If you like that clip, there's more where that came from in our full show, The Other Side. You can watch it right here, the latest episode. And please subscribe to our channel by pressing the subscribe button right here or down here. And remember to click that notification bell too. It all helps. Join us and become part of The Other Side.